Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and place to be, it's Debsy. Bloop, bloop, that's me. Boop, Debsy. Hey guys, and happy Sunday. I feel like this is, let me tilt you a little bit. Okay, there we go. Happy Saturday. Oh, I love the sound of that. It is the weekend. I hope everybody is having a great day, and of course my hair is having a fantastically not great day. Anyways, I hope everybody is having a great day and a wonderful weekend so far. It's going to be a semi-weekend. When I say a semi-weekend, I mean I'm off today, but then tomorrow I have to work mandatory overtime. Each of us I think it's once every 6 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, we have to work mandatory overtime on Sunday. It's supposed to be 8 hours. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it is. It depends on how much work we get in. So it's a semi. But one thing I definitely wanted to do was I wanted to get out here and do a rant and a recap and a rant on the Real Housewives of Salty Lake City. So that's what we're gonna do. And we are now in real time. So I've caught up. So let's get to it. This week, it was the second day of the ladies' trip to Milwaukee. That opening that they did that was reminiscent of a throwback to Laverne and Shirley. I loved it. In case you didn't know, I very rarely talk about it, but Laverne and Shirley growing up was along with Saturday Night Live, was my favorite show. Absolutely loved Laverne and Shirley. So that opening was taking me back, and I loved the nostalgia of it. I loved it. It took me back to my much younger days. So I love that. The ladies are getting ready for the day. There is Whitney has a lot planned for this day. They are going to be touring the Miller Caves, which apparently is like a huge deal out there in Milwaukee. They're touring the Miller Caves, and they are getting a beer and cheese tasting along with it. Then they're going to dinner at the Harley Davidson Museum, and then they're ending the night with a drag show at Trixie Mattel's bar. So she got a lot planned. Listen, I never would have thought that Lisa Barlow would love Milwaukee, but she told her Glam Squad she loves Milwaukee. And I must be going insane. I have got to be going insane because I heard it with my own two ears. Mary and Whitney exchanging I love yous? What? Who would have thought that Mary would be saying love you to someone she was calling the bobblehead? I can't believe it. Are the end of days coming? Wow. Okay, so Meredith and Lisa meet up, and Meredith tells Lisa what Angie and Whitney had said about her last night at the game. Angie's having a hard time because Lisa isn't talking to her, and she tells Meredith, listen, I don't know if you can trust her. You should be worried about Lisa because Lisa's talking about you. Well, the flashback to the night before at the basketball game the Timberwolves? Is that the name? Anyways, the basketball game. They're showing Angie talking about things that Lisa is saying. These are things that are from the past. These are things from like the hot mic moment that were on TV. Meredith knows all about them. So it's not like it's something new. Lisa says to the producers, hey, listen, I say everything I have to say, I say it to your face, except when it's a hot mic moment. And Meredith is wondering, hey, listen, I wonder if they're just saying all of this because they're both pissed at Lisa and they want me to side with them. That probably is the reason. That's why things happen on the Housewives. Heather is talking to Meredith, and Heather off camera, like with, in her confessional, is saying, she wishes Meredith would say something to Whitney about this whole, they get their jewelry from Alibaba, those accusations, just because it's a new business and something like this can sink a new business. So she would rather have Meredith say something than Heather saying something. She doesn't want to put a bad vibe, like bad juju over this whole Laverne and Shirley thing they got going, which is working out good right now. Lisa, listen, so after Meredith tells him everything, Lisa calls Whitney, or no, Whitney stops by and she's like, hey, we're doing this. And she's like, Lisa says, I'm gonna pass on the Miller tour, but I will meet up with you later for dinner. Whitney is kind of surprised. She doesn't know why this is happening, but she'll find out. So Lisa, Brittany, and Maylee, they go curling. Bronwyn has they're all in the Sprinter van except for those three. Bronwyn has some thoughts about this because first of all, she says it's kind of rude that she's not going because she was invited on this trip. The host, Whitney, put some time into getting this all together. So she should go on this tour. And also she was like, and that's kind of random with like who she's deciding to go with, because like, are those just the other two people that she saw in the hall and was like, do you want to come with me? So she thought that was kind of random, kind of odd. And she's probably thinking it's kind of random and odd. I can see now where she's thinking about that, because her and Lisa are friends and they've been friends, and she didn't ask her to go, but she asked those two to go. Random. I get that. Angie, it's hurtful. Angie's talking, and Angie's saying that it's hurtful that Lisa isn't talking to her. They've been friends for like 15 years. And I've always been there for her. So what is going on? And they're on the Sprinter van. They're talking about this. And they're trying to get to the bottom of this. Well, they got to the bottom of it because Whitney was like, Meredith, did you tell Lisa what we talked about last night? Meredith came right out. She was like, yeah, I did. I told her everything we talked about because, listen, we're working on our friendship. We made a promise to tell each other when something comes up. So that's just it. Yes, I did. And so Whitney, it was either Whitney or Angie, one of the two, was like, so who are they avoiding? Who is she avoiding? Is she avoiding Angie? Is she avoiding Whitney? Nope, she's avoiding both of you. Both of you, she's avoiding. But like, listen, what are you going to expect though? If somebody's talking ish about me, I'm not going to want to hang out with them. It makes sense. That to me makes complete sense. You're supposed to be okay with it. I get that. So over at the curling, the guy was like, Lisa was like, thank you for taking us on such late notice. I know you're booked, but thank you for taking us. We have friends of ours are doing something else. I don't want to be around them. The guy was like, what are they doing? And she said, they're going to the Miller Caves. And you could tell he didn't want to say it. He said it without saying it. He was like, oh, Miller Caves. That's a pretty big thing around here. That's a pretty big thing in Milwaukee. He didn't want to come out and say, what the fuck are you guys doing curling? You guys should be over at the Miller Caves, drinking some beer and having some cheese. That's like, way bigger here more important here in Milwaukee. He didn't, but he wanted to say it. Talk turns to Jared Joel. Yes, I know his name is Jared, but I thought his name was Joel. So I'm going to call him Jared Joel. So Jared Joel, the night before, they do a flashback. Brittany is making excuses for Jared Joel. Talking about how, well, we were on a split and blah, 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 blah. And now here he is sending this long ass text saying the friendship is terminated, not the relationship. The friendship is terminated. Lisa points that out. He didn't say relationship. He said friendship. And she honestly, I agree with you, Lisa. She said off camera, please do not chase a D-list Osmond. Please don't. I mean, and she said it's nice. Lisa had said off camera, it's nice to have a man. However, having a man doesn't define you. So if you don't have a man, that doesn't make you any less of a woman. I agree. I 100% agree. And listen, Osmond, that is a D-list Osmond. Jared Joel, I've never heard of Jared Joel Osmond. But then again, I don't know a lot of the Osmonds. I know, was I going to say Tawny? I've heard of Donnie and Marie, and I've heard of, is there Jimmy Osmond? And that's it. I couldn't name any of the other Osmonds. So I don't know many people who could unless you're like a big Osmond fan or if you're Mormon. I don't know. Put in the comments if anybody knows any other Osmonds besides Donnie and Marie. Is there a Jimmy? Tell me in the comments if there's Jimmy and if you're a fan of Jared Joel. Okay, so over at the cave tours, listen, I am really liking this new Mary. I'm liking the new Mary because, I mean, she still has that snarkiness to her, but she's actually taking part in these activities. Last year, she was just sitting in the Sprinter van, going out through, McDonald's drive-thrus, not taking part in anything. She's really, I'm thinking they sat her down and was like, listen, we're going to make you full-time, you have got to participate. I mean, you got to at least act like you like doing things with these people. I'm liking it. And they were even, I was surprised because, she only drinks Dom Perignon champagne, but he was like, listen, Miller is the champagne of beers. So give it a try. She gave it a try. She loved it. She said she called it Regal. So she was loving all of these beers. Listen, is Mary Cosby a good person? I don't know that she's a good person, just based on the fact of how she treats service people. We've seen it. We saw it last season. I don't like that. I like the comedy and the snark that she brings. So, okay, I'm liking Mary right now. So the tour guide, he's like the person who's doing the tour and the cheeses and the wine and the beers. He's like, okay, we have ghost stories. You can go over here and they'll tell you ghost stories. So everybody except for Whitney and Heather go for the ghost stories. Now I'm going to tell you, they go over these bartenders. They're like, are you ready for a ghost story? And then Mary starts talking about how her father, the Dahmer, like the connection to Dahmer, like he saw them taking, stuff out and the bodies was cooked. And the bartenders are like, ooh, listen, give it your best shot, bartenders, but there ain't nothing that could top Mary Cosby's Dahmer, her daddy Dahmer story. Like, nothing. Okay? Give it your best shot. I don't think you're going to be able to top that. So back over with Heather and Whitney. Heather does bring up the prism, this whole prism and its legitimacy with Alibaba and how you are supposedly you're white labeling jewelry from China. Whitney's like, oh, listen, it's fake, it's false, that's not true. There's this social media account that's saying this. It was brought to her by her business partner. Her business partner was like, do you think this could be something that's set up by a friend? So immediately Whitney's mind goes to Meredith. Oh, and also Whitney says, none of this is true. We buy our jewelry from a curated vendor. Now listen, I'm going to say this. I was really under the impression that Whitney was like, when you buy from a curated vendor, is that, in my mind, I think that you're just looking at things that are already designed and you're just buying it. In my mind before, I thought that she was like designing these, maybe not obviously making them herself, but she was at least designing them. I'm going to have to look up and see what a curated vendor is, but I'm just going to tell you, the picture that they put up of Alibaba and then Prism, it looked exactly alike. Like it looked exactly alike. So Whitney, when she hears could be from a friend, could a friend be putting up this social media account? She immediately, her mind then goes back to last season when everybody was pointing the finger at Meredith, that Meredith was the one that was making up these stories about Angie being in like the Greek mafia and all these other rumors. And she warned, she's like, listen, Meredith needs to stay out of other people's DMs and other people's business. Whitney thinks Meredith is doing this and she's behind it because Meredith is pissed that Whitney started her company, this jewelry company. So now she's reverting back to her old ways of last year. And is saying, listen, if she was my friend, she would come to me instead of telling everyone and trying to make me look bad. And Heather tells Whitney, listen, I told you this, don't say anything on the Sprinter van. Don't say anything on the Sprinter van. She partially kept her word, that she wouldn't. Well, actually, she didn't even say, I won't. There was silence. But in my opinion, I don't think it's Meredith that made that account. Meredith got enough on her own plate. I don't think she did that. As far as last year, remember, it wasn't Meredith. It was not Meredith who put all of that information out there. It was somebody who's not even on the show. It was Monica. So there's that. And also, I don't know that she went to everyone with this. She told Lisa and Heather. I mean, this is out there. Anybody from the public could see it. So, but the one thing I do agree with Whitney is that Meredith could have given her a heads up. She could have went to her and talked to her about it. That I agree with. So the ladies head out to dinner at the Harley Davidson Museum for dinner. This is something big. Like, they don't do this often. Whitney, we find out, is like a huge Harley Davidson enthusiast. Like, she rode Harleys growing up. Her and Justin have a bunch of Harleys. They go to Sturgis. Is it Sturgis? Sturgis every year. Well, not every year, but they go to Sturgis a lot. So they're on their way to the museum, and Heather is like, this is such a fantastic, fabulous trip. It's so great. She's like, Whitney says, it has been a great time. It's been a great time up until I found out that all y'all were talking about business mofos. You're talking about my business, and then brings up these rumors about Alibaba. Meredith is like, it's not gossiping. It's not a rumor. I mean, I'm not spreading a rumor. It's out there. And I felt badly for you and I was concerned. Whitney was like, oh, so you're so concerned? If you're so concerned, then why didn't you call me about it? Meredith was like, when you started your company, you didn't come to me for advice. I've been in this game a long time. I could have helped you, but you didn't come to me. Now that to me don't sound good. That to me sounds like, maybe you're doing some shit because you're pissed at me. That didn't sound good. And then Whitney then said, if you're really concerned, then why are you talking to everyone else and not me? And then Meredith just comes out and says, because I'm not that concerned. Okay, all right, okay. So they have the tour, they have the dinner. Whitney is like, I brought a gift for everybody and I'm going to give this to everybody, whether you want it or not. So she gifts everybody with a custom design necklace. Like I said, whether you want it or not. Whitney's upset that Meredith, once again, didn't come to her with the Alibaba rumor. And during this whole thing, then Lisa jumps in. I don't know why Lisa had to jump in, but maybe it's just because, they're on this path to like a stronger friendship. So she's going to jump in for her friend. Lisa jumps in. Whitney asks Meredith, hey, could you please not pull people in? Meredith didn't pull anybody in. And if anything, Meredith was probably happy that Lisa did jump in, because that took all of the heat off of her. Like, she could sink back and just watch while everybody else got into it. Whitney says that Lisa is wait a minute. Wait. Let me look at my notes. Whitney says to Lisa, hey, listen, I'm upset that you guys are talking about my business. That's gossiping. That's gossip, which set Lisa off. Lisa was like, oh, gossip? Like you and Angie were gossiping about me to Meredith last night? Here come the fireworks. Because then we got a new competitor has entered the arena, and her name is Angie K, because I can't pronounce her last name. Angie K. So Lisa's upset that Angie told Whitney and Lisa, no. Lisa's upset because Angie told Whitney what Lisa had told her in confidence. And you're meddling in my friendship with Meredith. Angie fires back. Lisa's mad. Lisa's just mad because Angie's no longer just doing what Lisa wants her to do. Because I guess, Lisa wants you to just take up for her, side with her. Everything's right. Yes, you're right. Yes. And Angie's not doing that. They go back and forth. Lisa says, Aunt, you've been a shitty friend to me. You've been a shitty friend. And Angie takes offense to this because she says she's on the phone with Lisa, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She's taking time away from her daughter, and she's always there for Lisa. What more can she do? And this was a low blow. This was a low blow, because don't bring the kids into this. Angie's never brought Lisa's kids into it. And Lisa said something like, oh yeah, go call Electra. Why don't you go call Electra? That's what you do anytime you want an excuse to get away from me or get off the phone with me. Go call Electra. Now, this is a blow to her because Angie's mother wasn't present. So she wants to make sure that she's present with her daughter. So that's bullshit. That's a low blow. Because like I said, she has taken time away from her daughter to talk to Lisa and listen to Lisa. And this is how she repays her. Now I get that. So, okay, there's a lot of fireworks. Brittany gets up to try and like take some heat off of this. Oh, Brittany, you know what she's going to talk about. So Brittany trying to lighten the mood by telling everybody. She starts off by telling, she's like, I have news. Me and Jared Joel. Everybody's like, ugh. And then she's like, have broken up. I had an epiphany in the middle of the night. But here's the thing. She hasn't told Jared Joel this. She hadn't told Jared Joel that they're broken up. And now he's blown up her phone. Then she says something, listen. She says, if we're ever going to work out, it's not now. Listen, Mary Cosby is right. She's broken up with him, but just watch out because 20 minutes from now, they're going to be back together. So don't even waste, Lisa, don't waste your time in telling this woman not to get back with him. She's going to get back with him. He's a dick. So Bronwyn asks, well, what do you see in him? What do you see in this guy? Heather chimes in that, well, first of all, he is an Osmond. I mean, there's that. She says, no, that's not it. And Lisa says, was it Lisa? I think it was either Lisa or Heather. No, it was Heather. Heather says anytime he walks in the room, he leads with, I'm an Osmond. He leads with Osmond. And he grew up on Osmond Lane. Osmond Lane, we find out, is like a street with like beautiful houses. But she's like, I don't even know if Donnie and Marie lived there. So she says, Brittany says she's in love with him. Brittany says she's in love with him. Bronwyn then comes out and is like, are you in love with him or because he's an Osmond? Woo! Shots fired. Brittany comes back and she's like, how about if you worry about your own marriage, Bronwyn? Oh, ma'am. To which point Bronwyn is like, listen, she said word for word, girl, you did not just tell me to worry about my marriage and not even know my husband's name. I'm going to tell you what. She may reveal herself to be something other. I'm liking Bronwyn right now because listen, Bronwyn isn't, if you're on a Real Housewives show, you're going to everybody talks about everybody behind their back. Is it right? No, it's not right. But she comes out and she says, yeah, I was saying this, but I also told so-and-so that I said this. And she's not going to shrink away from a little conversation. So, and she could reveal herself to be a terrible person. I've been burned before on loving newbie housewives, but I like Bronwyn. I don't know. I might be the only one. I like her. So Brittany says, why did you choose your husband? And Brittany's like, I thought he was hysterically funny. She's like, were you attracted to him because of his money? And she said, I had Google. Listen, that's funny you said that because I had Google Finances ask before I randomly met him in a bar. So yes. I mean, shade. She was like, yeah, sure. I met him randomly and Google Finances came up with that information. Sure. But here's the thing. I'm not mad that Brittany asked this question. I get why she asked it. She went down this line of questioning because of the line of questioning that Bronwyn went down. So I get that. But she handled it. I think maybe Brittany was thinking she was going to be like not able to handle it. She did. She handled it well. Then the age gap question comes up because there's a 26-year age difference. And Brittany had asked, are you attracted to your husband? And Bronwyn had said, am I physically attracted to my husband? Are you asking because of the age difference or the money? And then off camera, in her confessional, Bronwyn was like, listen, this whole narrative of like the gold digging, evil stepmom, it's boring. It's brought up to me a lot. It's boring now. Now, if you would have come at me with something like you're on your third nose, then that would have been a read. I would have said, bravo, that would have been a read. But this, no, it's not. And by the way, yes, I am on my third nose. She comes right out with it. Listen, I would never get plastic surgery, but if someone wants to do it, have at it. If you have the money, it makes you feel better, have at it. She's not hiding anything. Yeah, sure. And she says they were both in finance when they met. She said, me and my husband, we have a physical bond, a physical connection, a mental connection, and we're best friends. He knows I wouldn't take him to the cleaner, so no prenup. There is no prenup. Any other question, bitches? Because any questions that you might have and any thought in your head that I'm just with him for the money, you can get that on out of there because there's no prenup. So what now? What do you got now? Shut it down and shut it down quick. That's it. What can you say? She's not there for the money. Okay. So they get ready they change to go to the drag show. Listen, Bronwyn, I get that the heart coat, that was fashion. I get that. But that hot dog costume, I'm with Mary, that was a costume. The hot dog coat, that's a costume. But listen, would I wear it around Halloween? Yeah, I would, for a laugh, sure. Okay, so listen, if you watched this week's Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, please, in the comments, let me know what you thought. And as always, if nobody told you yet today, you were loved, seen, and heard, please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world so it comes right back at you. Please take care of yourself. I got a call coming in. I got to finish this quickly. Please take care of each other. Number one, be aware of your surroundings. Please be safe. Hydrate often. If you are in a situation that is dangerous, whether it be weather related or not, please know that we are sending love, thought, our prayers, love, thoughts, and positive energy to you. Please be mindful, be aware, be smart, be safe. I love you guys. I will see you maybe even later, but definitely tomorrow. So I'll see you later or tomorrow. Bye, guys. Love you guys. Bye.